Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Hari Om. Okay, so we are in the last verse of Bhajagovindam. Last 2 weeks ago, we started the 31st verse, and there, he glorifies the Guru. So here, though Adi Shankaracharya was a great Guru himself, how much love he had for his Guru, that Guru Bhakti, devotion to scriptures, devotion to the Lord, all that we saw in our last class. And here the 31st verse said, Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Samsarad Chirad Bhava Muktaha Sendriya Manasa Niyama Devam Drakshasi Nijahruda Yastam Devam. So here in this verse, Adi Shankaracharya is actually blessing all the devotees, all the sadhakas, all the seekers here who are studying this Bhajagovindam. And he says, O devotee of the lotus feet of the teacher, may you become liberated soon from the samsara through the discipline of the sense organs and the mind. You will come to experience, you will come to behold the Lord that dwells in your own heart. So, who is the disciple whom Adi Shankaracharya is addressing here? It is Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha, devotee of the lotus feet of the Guru. So, in the last class, we saw this first pada, this Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha, in detail. That's all we saw in the whole class, in the last class. So, there we saw the 3 meanings for the word Guru and why we need a Guru and how to approach a Guru and all that we saw in the previous class. So the fit student or the fit spiritual seeker who approaches the Guru in a proper way is taught Atma Vidya, self-knowledge. And we saw what is Nirbhara Bhakti, that is total surrender. We also saw the 6 aspects of surrender also at that time. Then we also very briefly saw the qualification of a spiritual guru also. So one way of showing love and respect towards guru is by doing pada puja or the paduka puja. And that's where we had stopped about the paduka puja. So now let us see here what is paduka puja is here. 1 second. Okay, so meaning of the paduka, I think I mentioned it in the last class. Again, I'm going to mention paduka. There are 3 consonants there. Pa means pati, to protect. It is the grace of the Guru that protects us. Du means dunoti, that means burns away. So when the worship of the Padukas is done regularly, it helps to burn away our negative tendencies slowly and steadily. Cast means kashate, that means to shine. A person shines in one's own true glory when all the negativities are gone. So the feet or the padukas of a guru represent wisdom and energy. It is interesting when if the guru is alive and if we get a chance to do the pada puja of our guru, that is the greatest blessings that we get in our life. But if the guru has reached mahasamadhi, okay, then we do the pada puja for his padukas there, okay. And Gurudev has written about this paduka puja. I'm going to read this one, and he says, just as a Shivalinga represents Shiva and Saligrama represents Vishnu, in the same way, the feet of the teacher represent to the students not the feet, but the underlying concept. What we are invoking is Brahman, the Lord, but we cannot go directly to him. We want a symbol. At this time, there is no symbol more sacred than the feet, the padukas of the teacher. So this portion is not in the commentary in the Bhajagovindam book. This I got it from a different book here. So, and also we should remember when we bow down to the Guru's feet or the Guru Padukas, what is it that we should keep the thoughts in our mind? What is it that we should think about it? Why we are doing it? That is very important here. So when you are doing that, thoughts like, I'm bowing down to Shastra, that thought has to be there. And I am bowing down to Guru Parampara. That is what we chant, Sadashiva Samarambam, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Parampara. And when I'm bowing down to the Padukas, actually I'm bowing down to the Atma Vidya, the self-knowledge that is there in the Guru. And we should remember that there is no difference between Ishvara and Guru. That's why we chant Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So in life, when can we feel the most secure? Can we feel secure when we have all the riches in the world? No, because IRS is there. Or can we feel secure when we have all the knowledge in the world? No, because there might be another person who knows a little more than me. Okay, then how about a long life? You might live for 125 years, but still it ends. It is not secure. Then how about if you have a great, loving and caring family? They are also not permanent. Then do you feel secure when I have a guru? Think about that one. Okay. So what happens if you have this Nirbhara Bhakti towards your Guru's lotus feet? Why this devotion to the teacher is emphasized here so much in this shloka? It is because you become free from samsara. It says, samsarat achirat bhava muktaha. So you become bhava, you become samsarat, from the worldly existence, that is transmigratory existence, muktaha, become free. How fast? Achirat, very, very fast also. So he who has complete fulfilling love for his teacher's lotus feet, he becomes free from this worldly existence very quickly also. Grace of Guru and God. I always refer to as 2Gs, right? So it's always there. But the question is, are we making use of that grace? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, there is always wind on the ocean. It is blowing. But if the sailor does not open his sails, he is not making use of that wind. Those who don't open the sails, even though that grace and blessings of Bhagwan is there in the form of the wind, okay, he is stuck there. He does not go any further. Same way the sunlight also. But are you opening the windows and the doors to let the sunlight come inside? Or have we decided to close the doors and windows and does not enter and then complain, I'm not getting any grace and blessing from my God and Guru, because they are very partial. So what is it that Guru teaches us? So it says here in this verse, Sendriya Manasa Niyama Devam. Niyama, that is discipline. Integrate, have the mastery over the manas and indriyas, mind and senses, and don't be a slave to the indriyas in your life. So control over the mind, it is known as manonigraha, and which is shama, and control over the senses, indriya nigraha, is dhamma. So you can see that one in sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, samadhama, and all those things. So here the Guru gives a program, the sadhanas by which we can discipline our senses and mind. It is not in the shloka, but it is from one of the shlokas, that Vedanta Dimdimaha, it says there. There it gives the sadhanas. And what are those sadhanas? Karmani chitta shuddhyartham, ekagratam upasanam, mokshartham brahma vijnanam iti Vedanta Dimdimaha. So, for the chitta shuddhi, for purification of the mind, what is it? Karmani, that is karma yoga. And for the ekagrata, for one-pointed mind, concentration, that is upasana. And mokshartham brahma vijnanam, for the moksha, knowledge of the Brahman, iti Vedanta dimdimaha, thus proclaim the Vedanta. So, the quintessence of Guru's teaching to his disciple is Sendriya Manasa Niyama Devam. Control your senses and mind, and then inquire and discriminate, and you will behold that supreme reality that actually is in your own heart. So, when you have devotion to the feet of the Guru, and you have become a fit student by mastering your mind and senses, and Guru has given the Atma Gnana also, then what is the result? Two things happen. You become free from this transmigration. There is no punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. And also you see that Lord in your own heart. That's what it says. Drakshasi nija hrudayastam devam. So that seeker will certainly see that Lord in his own heart, and there is no doubt about it. So Devam comes from the root Div. Div means effulgent, illuminating, conscious principle, and that is Deva, the truth. And Drakshasi, you will see where Nija Hrudayam, in your own heart. And that means you will experience the Lord as the very self here. Swami Advayanandaji says that, it is like when you go to the Shabarimala, and there are 18 steps that you go on those steps. And it is like you go all the 18 steps and you go and stand there. And on the top of the last step, it is written, Tattvam Asi. It's not written, but it is like, okay? So meaning that the Lord you have come to worship, you are that Lord himself. So Vedas have declared, Upanishads have declared, and great saints have experienced this one. And you and I are sure to experience if we follow the teachings also here. So know yourself as the reality. Knowing is believing. You cannot know reality without being that reality, where knowing and being are not separate. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hruddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. The Supreme Lord dwells in the hearts of all living beings, O Arjuna. As what? As Soham. I am that. That is my own Swarupa. And what is the use of this knowledge? So it says here, Samsarachira Adbhava Mukta. Okay. You will get the mukti, which is the goal of your life, which is liberation. So how long will it take? Achirat. As I said before, very soon. Means you will become Jivan Mukta in this life itself. It is not that you are going to realize who you are after death or after many lives. No, in this life itself, that can happen. So Guru, one of the Swamijis, he says, Guru is not the one who removes the ignorance. A real Guru is one whose sole desire for the disciple is, may you be liberated soon. Guru only seeks our spiritual evolution and nothing else here. So don't miss this opportunity. With mukti, you will never have to go looking for happiness because you yourself becomes that happiness, bliss. And you don't you don't have to look somewhere to become complete because you yourself are Purna. So all this time you were looking for blessings from Guru and God. But now you yourself become the blessings for the world. When you become that liberated person. For this to happen, start with Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam. So this is the last verse that Adi Shankaracharya, where Adi Shankaracharya has given us the blessings. Okay. So may you soon become free from this samsara. May you discover the devotion in your heart for the teacher, for the scriptures, and for the Lord. Okay. And devotion is very, very important thing to have. Without devotion, nothing can be achieved. Actually, in this month's Tapovan Prasad, there's on the very first page, there is this Tapovana Uvacha, words of Tapovan Maharaj. And it says in this month's Tapovan Prasad, I'm going to read this one. To reach the attributeless Brahman, it is unavoidable that we should take the support of Ishvara with attributes. Bhakti Marga is a path that can be practiced by anyone with ease and which can lead a person to liberation. That is its greatness. That is the greatness of Bhakti. So here ends teachings of Adi Shankaracharya in this text Bhajagovindam. So our hope is maybe sincerely follow this teaching and get liberated in this birth itself. Let's not postpone the entry into the kingdom of joy. There is nothing in this world worth postponing this joy. So you might be thinking the class is over, right? No, it is not. We have to see the summary of this whole Bhajagovindam. That's why I'm going in a faster speed today, because I have to cover all the 31 verses now. Okay, so let us see here. So we just finished seeing the Bhajagovindam, and which is one of the Prakarana Granthas of Adi Shankaracharya. And we have seen what is a Prakarana Grantha is. It's an introductory text to Vedanta, and it is meant for Madhyama Adhikari like me. A Prakarana Grantha text is where some of the basic principles of Vedanta, of Shruti and Smruti are taken, and it is elaborated, and it also gives the sadhanas to practice also. I had mentioned the original name of this Bhajagovindam was Moha Mudgara. That is a very appropriate name because in each and every verse, Adi Shankaracharya hammers and breaks our moha, our delusion. And as you all know, Bhajagovindam has 31 verses. The first 1 through the 13 and also 28 through the 31st verse were composed by Adi Shankaracharya himself, and 14 to 27, that is 14 verses composed by his 14 disciples who were with him. And you all know the story behind this composition, and I don't have to repeat that one. So now let us see the each verse. So let me get my Bhajagovindam here. Okay. So here in my notes, I have taken the taglines from Shubhani Chaitanya. She is the from Chinmaya Mission, New York. And she has given beautiful taglines for each and every verse. So I have copied from her these taglines. Okay. So the tagline for the first verse, evolve, don't revolve. So Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhajamudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrung Karane. So what is the purpose of our life? It is realizing our true nature, seeking the truth. So don't waste your time in seeking worldly things, for time is short. So in this verse, limitation of secular knowledge is pointed. The second verse, Mooda jahihi danagrama trishna kuru sadbuddhi manasi vitrushna yallabase nija karmopatam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. One second, let me go. So the tagline for this verse is move from greed to need. Give up the thirst to possess wealth. Instead, apply your mind in contemplation upon the real. Be content with whatever you earn by your own self-effort. Plato has said the greatest wealth is to live content with little. So in this verse, the limitation of wealth is pointed. नारीस्तनबरिनाभिदेशं दृष्ट्वा माघ मोहावेशम् एतन्मां सवसादिविकारं मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारम्. So tagline, go beyond the body. The limitation of pleasure, bhoga, is pointed in this third verse. Have self-control when it comes to bodily pleasures. Every body, it's not everybody, every body is sacred. Treat with respect. Every relationship should take us to the relationship with the higher. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajivitam atishaya chapalam Vidhivyadhyabhimanagrastam lokam shokahatam cha samastam. Tagline, uncertainty is certain. The limitation of worldly existence is pointed out here. Life is compared to a drop of water on the lotus leaf, which is so unsteady. Even with a little bit of wind blowing, it it falls off the leaf. So its existence is over. So use your time wisely, okay, and don't delay seeking the Lord. Remember what Kenopanishad says, iha chet avedit ata satyam asti, na chet iha avedit mahati vinishtahi. If man knows Atman here, then he attains true goal of life. If he does not know it here, great destruction awaits. यावद्वित्तोपार्जनसक्तः तावन्निज परिवारो रक्तः पश्चाज्जीवति जर्जरदेहे वार्तां कोऽपि न पृच्छति गेहे. Tagline, drop the world before it drops you. The limitation of worldly relationships is pointed in this fifth verse here. People come to you for what you have, not for what you are. When the wealth is gone, even in your own house, nobody comes to see how you are doing. So as Guruji says, है तो जनता का सेवा करना. If you have more than your requirements, serve the people. Joy तो प्रभु का ध्यान करना. If the wealth leaves, spend your time in remembrance of God. पर कभी किसी को नहीं कोसना. Don't condemn anybody. Don't curse anybody. Don't criticize anybody. यही है परम ज्ञान. This is the highest knowledge. यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे. गतवति वायो देहापाये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये. Tagline: every body dies, nobody dies. This body is not permanent. It decays and dies. So, but we invest so much time and energy in all relationships. But worldly relationships are not permanent. They don't accompany the jiva. It is the karma that accompanies the jiva. So use this current body to seek the Lord. बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः. Tagline: seeking is priority. So in this 7th verse, Adi Shankaracharya, he paints a general biography of most of the people. Only an extraordinary person's life is different than this one. In childhood, the mind is distracted by the toys. In youth, distracted by lust. In old age, distracted by worry. At every stage of life, the mind is distracted only. Then how to overcome this useless preoccupation of the mind? Only by seeking the Lord. Let the seeker melt into the sought. Remember Chinmaya way of living. What is that? Balastavat, Balavihar Saktaha. Tarunastavat, Yuvakendra Saktaha. Vruddhastavat, study group Saktaha. If that is the case, Parame Brahmani Sarvada Saktaha. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, very few understand that aim of human life is to see God. Kate kanta kaste putraha samsaro yamativa vichitraha kasya tvam kaha kuta ayataha tattvam chintaya tadiha bhrataha. Tagline: family is not the final destination. Again, Adi Shankara shows limitation of worldly relationships in this verse. Having a family and raising a family is not the purpose of life. The family is only a field for purification of our mind. Purify the likes and dislikes. Get rid of the ego. So worldly life is actually like acting like an actor on the drama stage. So play your part, very good. But always remember that you are an actor. And you are just playing your part only. Practice introspection. Contemplate on questions like, who am I? From where I have come? What is the purpose of my life? And questions like this should wake us up from our slumber. These are the questions should disturb us actually. And then only it shows our maturity. Try to see where we can get answers also. Satsangatve nissangatvam nissangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischalatatvam nischalatatve jivan mukti. Tagline: Power of Satsang. A roadmap for our spiritual journey is given in this verse. Where and how to start, what are the steps involved, and what is the ultimate destination is given in this verse. Adi Shankaracharya indicates the way to spiritual enlightenment in stages, and that starts with our satsang only. That is the first step. Goswami Tulsidas ji in Sri Ramcharitmanas, he says, Binu Sata Sangha Vivekana Hoyi, Rama Kripa Binu Sulabana Soyi. There is no wisdom without satsang, and no satsang without Sri Ramji's grace. So without the grace of Bhagavan, even satsang is not possible. And what does satsang means? Satsang means to be attached to the truth. So this can be accomplished in many, many ways. We had seen so many ways also at that time. So having the company of good books is also satsang. Reading the life stories of great saints and sages, that is satsang. Listening to spiritual discourses, that is also satsang. And entertaining good thoughts is also satsang. But just being with satsang is not enough. Our mind has to be tuned to that wavelength to bring that inner changes in us. Gurudev used to joke, the Rudrakshamala that was around Adi Shankaracharya's neck for over 20 years, it never got liberated. So, what is important? Practice. Practice what you have got the knowledge by reading these good books and the lives and follow what is given there. Vayasi gate ka kama vikaraha shushke nire kaha kasaraha kshine vitte kaha parivaro gnate tatve kaha samsaraha. Tagline: shoot the root. So in this verse, Adi Shankaracharya shows Karya Karana Sambandha, cause and effect relationship. See, mostly we pay attention to the effect and consider that as the truth. And we don't pay any attention to the cause at all. We pay attention to Nama and Rupa, but not the cause, that is Brahman, which is the Adhisthana, which is the substratum. And when the cause is absent, there is no effect also. So Adi Shankaracharya's question to us here is, when the truth is realized, where is samsara? So ignorance is the root cause of all our miseries. Identifying with the BMI and ego, we are bogged down. So realize you are just that witness, not the body, mind, and intellect here. Ma kurudana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kala sarvam maya mayamidam akhilam bodhva brahma padam tvam pravisha viditva. Here today, gone tomorrow. That's the tagline. Adi Shankaracharya pointed out in the previous verses limitation of wealth, limitation of worldly relationships, limitation of secular knowledge, and worldly existence. All this he pointed out. And here in this verse he says, don't be proud of any of these things, because in a blink of an eye, everything will be looted away. And then what one should do then? Focus your attention on that which is nityam, which is permanent, which is immutable, which is Brahman. And then enter into Brahma Padam, which means realize that Brahman or Brahma Swarupa, which you yourself are. Dinayaminyo sayam pratah shishiravasanto punarayataha kala kridati gacchatyayuh tadapi na munchati ashavayuh. Tagline, use your time to climb. So here Adi Shankaracharya says, you have already postponed enough. Many lives have passed by and time is ticking. Time and tide will not wait for anyone. So therefore, don't waste your time engaging in the pleasures of the world. As Guruji says, you don't waste time actually. You waste yourself. So wasted time is worse than wasted money. So always remember the Subhashita that says, Kal kare so aaj kare so ab, pal pe pralaya hoyegi, bahuri karega kab. So what you can do tomorrow, do it today. And what you can do today, do it now. If that moment is lost, how the work will be done? Kate kanta dhanagata chinta vatula kim tava nasti niyanta Trijagati sajjana sangati reka bhavati bhavarnava tarane nauka. Tagline, worrying is an insult to God. This is the last verse of Dwadasha Manjarika Stotram that is composed by Adi Shankaracharya. The rest 14 we are going to see from the disciples. So whenever we worry, we are actually insulting God, because there is this cosmic intelligence and it knows best. It knows what should happen, when, to whom, and what, where, and how, everything. And it is based on the law of karma. When I worry, actually I lose my energy. When I surrender, I realize synergy. So God knows best. Leave it to Him. The only thing we can do is surrender to Him and have the association with good people. That alone serves as the Tarane Nauka, as the boat to cross this ocean of samsara. Jatilo mundi lunchita kesha kashayambara bahukruta vesha Pashyanna pichana pashyati mooda udara nimittam bahukruta vesha. Tagline, don't fake perfection. Live with sincerity. When I pretend to be who I am not, I lose the chance to grow. People wear different kinds of robes, like wearing a white coat, and people think he is a doctor. And people wear ochre clothes, and people think he is a renunciate. And why do we do these things? Either it is for the belly's sake or it is for our ego's sake. So by anything we acquire by cheating is as good as stealing only. Karma will catch up with us one day. So Arjuna surrendered with sincerity and he got the teaching from Lord Krishna. And if we surrender with sincerity to our Gurudev, we will get the Bhagavad Gita teaching. So live with sincerity. Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam ruddho yati gruhitva dandam tadapi na munjati asha pindam. Tagline: desire to be desireless, or true spirituality is not indulgence. So here Acharya very beautifully describes the picture of an old man. Body is worn out, hair has turned grey, mouth has lost all the teeth and needs even a stick to lean on that. He needs that support. The body has become old, but the desires are still very, very young. They have not left that person. When we move towards this passion, life becomes joyous and fulfilled. This paves the way for the desire of the self. We want to know the self. More and more vairagya comes. So when we know the self, all the desires that we have, it will drop. Let such a way, let our, what I want to say is, let us age gracefully. Let us live properly. Agre vani prushte banuhu ratrau chubuka samarpita januhu karatala bhikshatarutala vasaha tadapi na munchatyasha pashaha. The tagline for this is, don't give up, grow up. Or you can say, true spirituality is not denial. So in this verse, Acharya has painted the picture of an extreme vairagi who actually has renounced even the essentials of life. He is a tapovruddha, but he is bound by the noose of desires. Or the spiritual life is not about how much you can give up, but it is actually how much you can grow up. Spirituality is not indulgence or denial. It is unfoldment. Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Rata Paripalanam Atava Danam Gnana Vihina Sarvamatena Bhajatina Muktim Janmashatena. Tagline: means do not mean the end. This verse gives a beautiful program of how to purify the mind. Go on pilgrimages, take some vows and follow them, and do some charity also. But by mere practice of these noble exercises, one cannot reach one's destination. Knowledge of the self alone is the destination. Suramandira tarumula nivasah shayya bhutalam ajinam vasah sarva parigraha bhoga tyagah kasya sukham na karoti viragah. Tagline: independence is joy, or you can say mission dispassion. So here is the description of a real sannyasi, a real ascetic, a real renunciate who does not depend on the world for his joy. He is the real wise man also. His mind is very calm and he has rejected all the happiness in the objects. Means he has realized there is no happiness in the objects, but he himself is that happiness. As Kaivalya Upanishad says, Tyage naike amrutatva manashuhu. By renunciation alone, immortality is attained. Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihinaha Yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati nandatyeva. Wow, with or without is the tagline. Okay. Here is the eulogy of the one who has realized Brahman, glorifying the state of a Jivan Mukta in this verse. Actually, they are the true wonder because they can be with or without. They can be with people or without people, with things or without things. And he is always happy. He cannot help but be happy. His Ananda is Khandhananda, unbroken bliss. Next is verse number 20. Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita Sakrudapi Ena Murari Samarcha Kriyate Tasya Yamena Na Charcha. Read less, reflect more. How to become a Jivan Mukta? Purify the mind by visiting Tirtha Kshetras and destroy the ego by worshipping Lord Murari. Then study Bhagavad Gita. Deeply reflect on the teachings and bring them in your life. Practice and transform your life. There is a, what is that, from Hawaii, that the previous Swamiji that was there. And there is a Gurudev's teaching. It comes in a newsletter. It was very interesting. There he had written, I don't know the exact words, but I'll tell you what I read. It says there, uh, for everything, he gives the example, like how to become the Hindu, I don't know the exact words, I'm sorry. So what the gist of it, what was, you cannot do anything without practice. And he took the example of Arangetram. And he said, for the Arangetram, however much you go and watch everybody's Arangetram, however much you go and take lessons every week with your teacher, okay? Dance does not become yourself. And for your Arangetram, what is important is practice. So here also, study Bhagavad Gita, okay? But not just studying is not enough. We have to bring those teachings in our life and live those teachings. That is important, practice. That is verse number 20. 21. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Iha samsare bahudustare, krupaya pare pahi murare. Tagline, take me, Om, O-M. So we are bound in this samsara, and actually we are not even aware that we are bound, because we are so comfortable with our bondage, and that has resulted in repetition of our birth and death again and again. Don't you think it is time to go home, to go home? प्रत्याचर्पट विरचित खंता पुण्या पुण्य विवर्जित पंतः योगी योग नियोजित चित्तः रमते बालोन्मत्तव देव. Tagline is, one second, okay. in this book, this Bhakti Sudha, that's what I'm chanting. After 20, verse number 20, it is 21. And again, it says 21. So I got little confused what is going on here. Okay, so let me see. After Punarapi Jananam, okay. Pratyacharpata, okay. So here, the tagline is give more. One second, okay, let me give more. Okay, got it. Okay. So the tagline for this one is give more, take less. I should have followed Gurudev's book instead of changing it in the last minute. So now I got confused here. Okay. So the tagline is give more, take less. So here the nature of a Jivan Mukta is given here. The true way to live is not to be indebted to the world, but let the world be indebted to you. Give more than what you take from this world. Like a mad person, like a child, free from all worries, he simply lives in this world. Kastvam koham kuta ayatah kame janani kome tata iti paribhavaya sarvamasaram vishwam tyaktva swapna vicharam. Paribhavaya, I had mentioned this word, when we saw this words, how important this paribhavaya is. Inquiring is the thing. Without inquiry, we don't understand what we have studied. We wouldn't know what is right and what is wrong. So paribhavaya is very important here. Paribhavaya, inquire, and you will find all the relations are from this body standpoint only. The entire world of experience is actually essence-less. And it is a mere dreamland born of imagination. See, from dream, you wake up naturally, effortlessly. But to wake up from this dream-like world is possible only with knowledge. Self-realized people are free because they have realized that life is but a dream. त्वयि मयि चान्यत्रैको विष्णुः व्यर्थं कुप्यसि मय्यसहिष्णुः भवसमचित्तः सर्वत्र त्वं वाञ्छस्य चिराद्यदि विष्णुत्वम्. Tagline, stay centered amidst change. Because of realization, this person is able to see the oneness. Everything is nothing but consciousness, appearing as names and forms only. So keep the mind bhavasama chittaha. That means stay equanimous if you want to attain Vishnutvatvam. So if you want to get liberated, become Jivan Mukta. Shatro mitre putre bandho ma kuru yatnam vigraha sandau sarvasminnapi pashyatmanam sarvastro sruja bheda gnanam. The tagline, walk alone. You don't need any company at the end of the day. We all have to walk alone. Do not put unnecessary efforts to make and break the human relationship. Instead, make your mind your friend, which is always with you 24/7. Kamam krodham lobham moham tyaktvatmanam pashyati soham atmagnana vihina moodaha te pachyante naraka nigudaha. Face the six gangsters or the traitors within. The impurity of the mind prevents us from gaining the knowledge of the self. It prevents us from living up to the truth. The six roadblocks or the traitors in our spiritual path are the Shadripus. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. If they conquer us, we are in bondage. If we conquer them, we will have all the freedom in the world. So let us wake up to ourselves. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram Deyam Shripati Rupam Ajasram Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam. Tagline: Mental health is spiritual health. 4 sadhanas to divinize our life is given here. Gurudev says these are the 4 unavoidable musts in the daily program of a sincere seeker: chanting, contemplating, satsang, and giving. Sukata kriyate rama bhoga paschadanta sharire roga yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi na munchati papacharanam. Tagline: Our present creates our future. So invest your time wisely. Everything we are doing in this world, every day what we are doing, if we dedicate just our karmas to the higher, then we are on our way to reach the truth. But if we just do it selfishly for our gains, then we are going away from the truth. Same actions can take us to higher or lower. It all depends on our attitude. So think about our present and how it creates our future. Arthamanartham bhavaya nityam nastitasasthu. Arthamanartham bhavaya nityam nastitah sukaleshah satyam. Putradapi dhanabhajam bhitihi sarvatraisha vihitaritihi. Tagline: Wealth is for dharma. Don't make artha the goal of your life. Why? Artham, anartham. It is calamitous. Wealth is not just for enjoying it. It is to live our dharma only. When you live a righteous life, eventually the desire for liberation will also come. So wealth is to take us to realization of the self. Pranayamam pratyaharam nityaneta viveka vicharam japya sameta samadhi vidhanam kurvavadhanam mahadhavadhanam. Tagline: Move from outside in. Spiritual progress is an inward journey. Do antaranga sadhanas. What are those? Pranayama, pratyahara, nitya viveka vichara, japa, which culminates in samadhi. But if you want just one instruction, what is that? That is surrender. Guru charanambuja nirbhara bhaktaha samsara chira adbhava muktaha sendriya manasa niyama devam drakshasi nija hrudayastam devam. The tagline: surrender is the key. If we stay under the guidance of the Guru, we will evolve faster. Surrender. Hold on to the feet of your Guru. Be that little fish, that the story that I shared with you last week. Be at the feet of Guru. Then there is no fear of samsara. This is Bhajagovindam. This Bhajagovindam has shown us what is your goal of life and how to reach that goal of life. And Adi Shankaracharya and his 14 disciples have given us many sadhanas to practice also. This is an excellent teaching by Adi Shankaracharya, and our humble prostrations to that great teacher and our Guru Parampara. So with the grace of God and Guru, we were able to complete this text. So now let us read the first verse. Why? To remind ourselves the journey is not over. It is not complete yet. It is only the beginning. Our journey ends only when we realize our true nature. Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhajamudhamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahi nahi rakshati dukrum karane. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishnaarpanamastu. Hari Om everyone. Hari Om.
Hari Om.